Okay, so yeah, I'll want some explanation on that too, if that's gonna.
Yeah, and I mean the reverb you probably will never use.
That's gonna be mainly for a lead guitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just reverb on bass is generally not.
What is the standby?
So you turn on the AC to warm up the tubes.
Okay.
And then after about 2 minutes or so, maybe a little less, you can flip it off a standby and the tubes will be warm.
Oh, okay.
If you're not planning on playing the amp for, more than a couple minutes, just leave it off.
Okay.
You don't want to leave it on standby for no reason.
Okay.
And then so you do have a master volume here.
Oh, I need to put the battery in there.
Where are we at? Yeah, so I mean, you got your standard.
Okay, so those are that's a push-pull, right?
Yeah, so each of these has a function to boost its frequency range.
Okay. And it should be able to handle everything at this, well, especially with this, right? I mean, I guess I can max it out.
Yeah, I mean, with an 18, I strongly doubt that you'll need the bass boost,
Well, let me hear it. Oh, wow. Now, see, this guitar has, which I've never, with my current setup, I've never been able to, like, really play around with the knobs and the lever on it. Am I going to have some more?
So the switch is a pickup switch, so it's just neck,
like
neck,
like,
bridge, or both.
If I want to, yeah.
I think. Anyway.
That's what I figured. Is all the way over is more bass, all the way to the right is more highs.
Yeah, and then 3-band EQ, so bass, metal, treble.
So if I want to get more fretboard action, to really pick up the...
It's hard to tell what this knob is doing.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't figured out exactly what the knobs do. But I really haven't had a setup that lets me know.
Yeah, so it's, it's bass, metal, treble with a center detemp for no boost or no cut. That's cutting the bass, that's boosting the bass, which is going to be super duper apparent on this rig. That's boosting the mids, cutting the mids, it's kind of subtle. And that's boosting the treble, you can hear that.
Which one is that?
It's the one closest to the end.
So treble, mid is...
Mid is this one.
Okay.
Bass, metal, treble.
Okay, okay.
This is your master volume?
Yeah.
I cannot tell what this is.
Yeah. I think that does like some...
So this might be the pickup selector actually.
Oh, okay.
So this is the middle, but then I don't know what this is doing.
Well, I always knew that it gave me more overall full sound if I'd go all the way over there. Okay, so now so lead.
Yeah, so
reverb.
I mean, if you want to, hear the lead sound.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty out of practice on
So
this,
when you hit that, then that
it'll turn on the lead channel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it has its own master volume. Let's see, does the master? Okay, so this is global.
Okay.
So
okay.
you basically in lead mode you have 2 master volumes.
Let me hear the reverb in it. Oh, that's neat.
But like, so I mean, yeah, on like the high notes.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
It sounds cool, but like on the low notes,
yeah.
It's like it'll just muddy things up,
Okay.
So So yeah, yeah, like I was saying, kind of
Okay.
limited loose.
And then this switch right here.
So this is just another treble boost, you know.
Okay.
A bright switch. It's a very like classic switch on a Fender amp, you know. They're on like all the vintage amps.
So this means I can put another guitar in there?
You can. It's not gonna work that great. It's 6 dBs lower than the number 1 input, so it's actually probably more appropriate for an active bass like this one. Like the impedance match is a little better for an active bass, and because the active bass puts out a little more juice than a passive.
And then that's the low power is where I need to be running it because it's active too?
No, the low power will just will lower the output section to around 35 or 40 watts.
So if you then switch the low power on, what's that gonna?
So I strongly recommend turning the amp off when you change the power setting.
Okay.
So we'll just do that. It just makes the amp quieter, you know.
So we are on low power now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was on. Okay. Yeah, that is a lot quieter.
Yeah. And I mean, we're not even, you know, up on the master volume very much.
Because I play at our church and we have an old Leslie, you know, it's tube, and there's a whole turn on procedure for that, so I guess it's the same thing with this.
Like the lead channel sounds pretty cool.
This would be the lead channel? Or that would
No, just with the...
yeah.
I mean, you get really gnarly, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you were doing some, I don't know, Motorhead or something.
So everything I had before, I did real distorted on the lowest string.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like I'll have that problem anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see how low it will go. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it'll still get there, like, to where it's too much. You know, the cabinet's like, please stop.
And then let me boost the treble. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh, it really
gives you some of that, like that fretboard sound.
Yeah, so if you're doing like popping and snapping,
and then you can triple it up. You know, you can change the brightness on your guitar. You can change it here and there, which is kind of gets annoying. It does help give those low notes like more definition, you know. But you know, all within adjustability.
All right.
Yeah, I think the bass boost is probably too much given the 18 and everything going on with like the onboard EQ.
Okay. Is there anything else in the back that I need to know about?
I don't think so, but let's take a look. So this is the foot switch connection. These are the reverb tank connections. Okay. I really don't want you to mess with the output tube matching. That's just like a technical calibration thing. Okay. There is a line recording out, so like if you can use this as a DI, like if you want to send it to the front of house engineer, they can plug a cable into here and get sound off of the amp into the mixing board.
Oh. And effects in and out? Is that where I would put pedals?
That's an effects loop, and so this one works with a tip ring sleeve connection. So it, instead of having you know, a lot of effects loop have one in, one out. This is you have to use a special cable for this. So you have to use a Y cable.
And pedals, if I did use any pedals, like octave pedals.
Okay, so there there is a gain channel on this,
Okay.
which you'll probably have a limited use for with bass. And I did put the receipt in the back there,
Okay.
along with the parts that we replaced.
And this is just to then
Plug
get
in
the
internal speaker. Now that speaker is going to absolutely beg for mercy with the bass in
Okay. And these are
that. Those are the parts that we replaced.
okay. Old ones.
So we can.
And this is a 15 or a 12?
That's a 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is just kind of uncommon. For
Yeah,
an open
'cause
back cabinet.
And 12 is, I guess, the
Yeah.
norm.
Yeah. All the most famous Fender amps have 12s and 10s.
Oh, okay.
The Eshelman being an exception, but that's a 215. And so, like back in when this amp came out, they didn't actually have like this is a bass amp, this is a guitar
Right.
amp, but this amp would have more for bass. At the same time, like Dick Dale used this amp for guitar.
Huh.
That was his amp of choice.
Y'all sell guitars too?
Well, we make guitars.
Oh.
Yeah, the Robin brand.
Because eventually I think I would want an electric guitar to go along with that. What's the price range?
We start around 3,000.
And then pedals and stuff like that. These are.
So before we bought the guitar company, I had a retail location, and at some point we had over 300 pedals. And
Really?
this pedal inventory is literally just the leftovers from the store.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of a lot of like distortion and fuzz pedals. There's a handful of modulation pedals
Yeah.
in the mix.
Which I haven't gotten to really knowing how to use a pedal.
If you're ever looking for an envelope filter, which is that kind of quacky wah sound, this is really good on bass. It's called the Earthquaker Spatial Delivery.
Oh, really?
It's a really cool pedal.
Huh.